Hello again, folks, and welcome back to the channel. I know it's been a while, but I'm finally in the new place. I figured I'd do a little bit of unpacking. I thought I'd show you everything that I've got in these boxes here. This isn't everything in the model train collection, but I thought it'd be fun to kind of go through it with you and see what we've got. And let's open up this first tote. This is mostly, looks like 00 gauge. A lot of UK stuff in here. So the first thing we have, this is a little Bachmann J72 that I purchased from a guy in San Antonio at the San Antonio train show. This one has a cracked gear, so it doesn't run. Thought it would be just a fun piece to have. Maybe I can get a replacement gear for it someday. This is also from that same seller that has a bunch of UK stuff when he comes to San Antonio at that show. Bought this from him for $5. Thought it was, kind of fun. Next we have looks like the Oxford Railgun. This is the pack with the Dean Goods. Unfortunately, the Dean Goods is not in this box, it's in pieces. We might see that later in another box, but we'll get to that later. Love that railgun, it's an amazing piece. Some Hornby coaches, some old Pullmans. I actually really like these. I think I picked these up for, it was 3 for $20, I think. Also that seller from San Antonio. These look really nice being pulled by Mallard or Tornado or any of those. Next up is the Hattons P-Class, the ROD version. And I love this thing. I don't think I've run this since I first got it to make sure it runs. Rest in peace, Hattons, gone but not forgotten. I love this little tank engine. I'd love to put sound in it. I have to figure that whole situation out, but we'll see. This is a project for the future, I think. Beautiful little tank engine. I'm excited for the Akira scale one. I'm going to pick up the Bluebell, I think. Next we have some EFE rail boxcars. I picked these up from Rails of Sheffield. These are the 10-ton covered vans. They're lettered for British Rail, but I think I'm going to repaint these, redecal them for a War Department World War I style thing. But I picked these up when we were in England last year and had to, just a little souvenir, really. Picked up these recently. These are also War Department Rapido wagons, the 10-ton open wagons. I got 2 of these. These are really cool. One's upside down because I took it out and took a closer look at it. Excited to have those. Another pair of Rapido wagons. These are vans. I think the 10-ton vans, also War Department. Excited to have these. I've got 2 of these. And yeah, they look great. I think I need to figure out how to get a different number on the duplicates, though. They only did 1 road number of each. Speaking of the World War I War Department, we've got the Bachmann ROD 280. This is the one that I put a economy decoder in for UK Steam. It's got Model U figures in the cab. You've seen this one. I've got a little link up there in the corner if you want to check it out, but it's got real coal in the tender. I love this thing. It runs really well. Keeping up with the Bachmann 00 theme is my Bachmann Tornado. This was a Hattons purchase as well. I bought this pre-owned. I think I paid about $70, $75 American for this thing. So it was around 60 pounds, I think, at the time. And this thing was essentially brand new in box when I bought it from Hattons. And beautiful piece. The only thing I've done is add the etched tornado plate to the smoke lifters there. Here's a Hornby Railroad model of Mallard. This is from the National Railway Museum in York. Also bought this when we were there. It's got the nice packaging from the museum. This was a little pricey for 134 pounds. I really bought it more as a way to support the museum and just to have a nice memento of my meeting Mallard for the first time. It was really nice. Here's my mid-90s era Rivarossi Big Boy 4003. This is the one that I've detailed up a little bit, repainted. This one has a lot of extra added detail, and for a mold of a boiler shell from the late 60s, I still think it looks pretty decent. I just wish I could get brake shoes in between the wheels, and I think Hornby has added those to the new production models, but I couldn't figure it out on this one. This one has a Soundtrax Big Steam decoder. It's got a crew in the cab. It's got real coal in the tender, and class lights that are working, flickering firebox. I kind of went all out on this guy. It's one of my first big real steam locomotives, and it's a cherished piece, really. So that's that Rivarossi Big Boy, a classic. Okay, next up we have the Broadway Limited Blue Line USRA Light Mikado. This one's decorated for Union Pacific, 2480. This was my first time detailing a locomotive to look like its actual prototype by researching it and adding, those details by looking at photos. I think I have a little video up here of it. I'll link that in the corner there if you want to check that out. And that one has TCS wow sound in it, I should mention as well. The Union Pacific 4102. This guy is still my highest viewed video, so I'll link that if you want to check it out. My Broadway Limited Brass Hybrid 9000, number 9042, the 412-2. This is my pride and joy. This is my favorite piece, I think, out of my entire collection. Love this. ESU Loke sound, working class lights, flickering firebox, added a crew in the cab. It's got scale sound system speakers in the firebox, or in the smoke box rather, and in the tender. And I adore this thing. I don't run it nearly enough anymore. I need to at least get a display case for it or something, but yeah, love that one. This is one I don't think I've ever shown before. West Side Model Company Brass 2102, Union Pacific from their 5000 class. This was a painted model. It was really thick, sticky enamel paint, which I've removed. So it's still on the frame, unfortunately. I bought this as a project, and it needs some work. It already has a new motor in it. It's got some tarnish here on the boiler now. I really need to get into this thing and, add a decoder and get it running again. It's a nice piece. Really doesn't like anything under 32-inch radius curves, I'll say that much. But it's a cool piece. Maybe Broadway Limited will return with their 210-2 at some point. It's kind of what I'm hoping for. And lastly, this is another Broadway Limited Paragon 2. This is the 482 Mountain, the NT73. And I've already done a video on this one too. I like this one a lot. I wish they'd re-release these with Paragon 4 and Stealth. I'd be happy to have it. I'd be happy to add another one to my collection. Now we have these other pieces, these other totes, and this bag. Let's see what's inside. Now you're going to see a lot of stuff that I picked up at the New Braunfels train show. I had meant to do a video on, but we were moving, so I didn't really get to. And the first piece is this Doe and Joe food truck from Walthers, and it's missing some decals on. Some of the decal is ruined on one side, but I don't really care that much. It's a cool little food truck. I thought this would be fun to have. I'm a big donut and coffee guy, and what I want to do is remove the service window and put a little interior in there and have a little guy serving coffee and donuts from the truck. I think that'd be a lot of fun to have that somewhere by a city scene or something. Also from the New Braunfels show, there was a seller who was selling things for a half off sticker price. So I put together a bundle and made a deal with them, and this was part of that deal. This was this Walthers Seaboard System boxcar. I'm gonna do this as a patched CSX boxcar that I've got a photo of, and just $5. I couldn't say no to that. Really good deal. Overall, you'll see a lot of stuff from that seller coming up right in just a moment here. Again, from that seller, a pair of Tropicana Athearn boxcar kits. This was $15 for both of them. I really like Tropicana. Growing up in Florida, you'd see these occasionally, and just love the graphics and the details. And you can see I have one already over there, and it'll go well with these other two ones. Maybe eventually I'll get them running together. Next up we have this AHM box. And this is a helium car, and I've already got two of these, and I like buying these when I see them because there's not really another ready-to-run model of these, and I wish someone would make it. I would kind of want to do a NASA thing with these, since NASA had a lot of these. Now there's the packaging for the food truck. All right, we got a little Athearn box. This is an unpowered SD 1500, I think, Amtrak. Again, it was, I think, what is half of 25? This was like $11-12, and couldn't say no. It's brand new. Just a little unpowered switcher. Maybe I'll put it off to the side in a yard somewhere. Looks nice. All right, the last thing we have are these 4 model power boxes, and these were interesting. These are just a Japanese bullet train, the Shinkansen, and having seen one of these and walked through it in real life at the National Railway Museum in York. I wanted to get the model of it. I went ahead and picked up two of the locomotives and one of the coaches with the pantograph and one without. And it ended up being $50 for four, which I think was maybe, I think I may have overpaid. These aren't, the locomotives aren't powered, there's no motors. This will never run. It doesn't look that great, but I just wanted a model of it, and you know, why not? When you're at a train show, if you see something you like, a lot of fun. This will go on a shelf, probably. All right, we got these other boxes and this banker's box. Let's start with that since it's on top. All right, inside we have, right on top, this was from the New Braunfels train show as well. I think I bought this at Spring Creek Model Trains. I love those guys. This is the Rapido Golden West boxcar, patched, of course. See these all the time. Anything Golden West I think is really cool. And when it's a patch job, I'm a big fan. This will get weathered and maybe graffiti at some point in the future. But it's a nice piece. My first Rapido North American freight car. And why don't we just pull loosely? This is a Walther's mainline tank car, and yeah, and just I don't have the boxes for the loose things right now, unfortunately, so they're just kind of sitting in there. Probably not the safest idea. It's an old Roundhouse high cube waffle box car, I think. Yeah, I think it's Roundhouse. Now it's Athearn Roundhouse. And this needs some decals and the safety striping and all that eventually. Not the most accurate car, but still pretty cool. And here we have my first $50 box car. I never thought I'd ever pay that much for a piece of rolling stock, but here we are. And I see why people do. It's a nice piece. The Aurora Miniatures Greenbrier GATX boxcar in blue. It's a nice piece. And then the Walther's mainline high cubes, which I think I showed those in a previous video. T-Box and Canadian National, I think, yeah. They need to get some weathering treatment as well. One of my auto carriers. Got a couple of interesting characters on there. My other auto carrier, doing the graffiti. Love doing that. It's part of my favorite part of the hobby right now. Another New Braunfels pickup is this Athearn ready to roll T-Box boxcar. See these all the time. I will probably end up picking up a bunch more of these, both Aurora Miniatures, probably. Everyone's making these now, so I need to buy a few more, I think. My Athearn Genesis, this is my SD70M, the Union Pacific 1979 VR1. Love this locomotive. It's got ESU in it now with a scale sound system speaker. It's a nice piece. My another Walther's mainline piece. It's missing those little pipes on the middle. I have them somewhere. I need to glue those on. Those break so easily. But, you know, for how much you spend on those things, they're not so bad. These are some ladders for the scale trains, auto carriers. One of the ladders on, I think this one, broke, and they sent me immediately replacements, and it was really nice of them to do so. Then another scale trains auto rack with some graffiti in progress, as you can see. Gonna probably start working on that pretty soon. And then just the instruction manual for said auto rack. I think just a parts list and all that. Okay, we got two more totes. Let's crack into them. And as you can see, I'm starting to make a nice little pile here. But let's keep going. Okay, right off the bat, let's see. We've got the Atlas Peace for Ukraine boxcar for a good cause. Love the design. Happy to have it. The Pico narrow gauge starter set. I bought this for the 009 Trench Railway stuff. The Planet Industrials ROD version of their Kerr Stewart Victory. Nice locomotive. Love this thing. I need to get a decoder for it. This was from that half-off seller at New Braunfels as well. Just a IHC Ferris wheel. I like the IHC Carnival stuff, and I'm a big Ferris wheel guy. Grew up in New Jersey, going to the boardwalk every summer, so those I always loved seeing Ferris wheels. And next up, a Athearn Blue Box with a Hornby model of Tornado. This was given to me by someone. It's a bit of a basket case. It runs really well, but they were attempting to paint it blue from its original apple green, and I took it after they didn't want it anymore, so I got to figure out what to do with it. Another Walthers mainline piece. This is from New Braunfels as well, the CNW hopper. I'm probably going to add some graffiti to this and maybe sell it off. I don't know that I really want to keep it. Not a bad car, though. Okay, another Walthers blue box, another short one. This is my NASA number 2 SW1500. Love this little guy. It needs a new motor. I'm going to be remotoring that at some point. All right, we have an Athearn, New Jersey. I said I was from New Jersey, and I've been collecting New Jersey boxcars. I don't know why, but I have a few. Speaking of, again, New Jersey Transit, commuter cars from Atlas. I have 2 coaches and a cab car, and I think they just recently announced they were rerunning these. So I have already pre-ordered another 2 coaches, and yeah, looking forward to having a more complete commuter train. I think these were typically run in trains of 6 or 7, but I think 5 is probably fine. And then the ALP 45 DP, they're also rerunning these. I've picked up another one as well for pre-order, so probably see that in the fall. Bachmann Amfleet Northeast Regional Cafe car. That goes along with this, the Bachmann ACS 64. Another blue box. This is the 6868 that I picked up at I think it was the San Antonio train show, if I remember correctly. That's a future project, that is. And then we have a little N-scale Amtrak P42. I found this was at Hatton's, and I think it was like $5, and I just added it to my cart and had it shipped with another order, and it was so cute, and I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I love it. Then we have these Kato boxes. These are all, if I remember correctly, these are superliners. Yeah, coach, diner, coach baggage. Yeah, so four of these makes up the Texas Eagle as I see it as it comes through Austin. And then this was probably the gem. This was the big find at the New Braunfels show. So this is from that seller. Again, this was 50% off the ticket price or the sticker price, and it's an Atlas AEM 7 in the Phase 3, if I remember correctly. This thing is brand new in box, and honestly, after the bundle I did with all the stuff I was buying, this really only cost me maybe 40 or 50 bucks. And just like I said, brand new in box. It's beautiful. I love the Northeast Corridor stuff. I love the electric stuff, and I'm really happy to have that. Another Walthers kit, and this is a Conrail auto carrier. Already opened. I cracked this one open to take a look at it, make sure it was all there. Of course it is. Yeah, happy to have another auto carrier. And then, so funny enough, these I think I've shown these New Jersey Transit cars before. These Horizon cars. They are from that same seller, but they're from last year. I can't wait to see them again in September. I think they're going to be at another train show. And then the Kato P42. I need to do some more detailing to this. It is 95% done. And then hopefully I'll have it pull my little Texas Eagle at some point. But we'll get there eventually. I got a lot on the plate, as you could tell. Another Athearn blue box. This is from the Houston train show. This is a brand new in box Amtrak P42 number 9 powered unit. This is a future project. I'm not going to touch it right now. I think I mentioned this in the video when I'll link it up in the corner. You can take a look if you want. All right, another blue box, and this one. What does this one contain? This one has the original P42 that I did. Number 2. This was an unpowered unit that I motorized. And you can see it's got, like, when I was handling it, some of the decal on the side just removed it peeled off, and I really don't like the patch job I did, so I might actually just strip the shell on this one and turn it into a New Jersey Transit P42. I haven't decided. That's a future decision, I think. All right, the last last of these totes. And we have, ooh, this is interesting. Luke Skywalker Vintage Series from the Revenge of the Jedi original title of Return of the Jedi. We'll just put that to the side. And let's take a look. Another Walther's Auto Rack, another Burlington Northern piece that I did based off of one I've seen. Another blue box. What is in this one? I don't remember. Ah, yeah. 6867. I need to finish this one. It's very close to being finished. I want to do a video on it. We'll see. That's hopefully coming soon in the future. A spare box for ESU Loc Sound decoders. I had one or two of these fail on me, and they've been really good about replacing them, so I keep a spare box just in case. They've been really good with their customer service. P42 detail parts for the Kato P42. And then I picked this up after my wife and I rode the Class 395 in England, and I bought the coach pack for the Hornby Visitor Center version and one of the original loco packs with the locomotives and the two coaches. So the extra coach pack is incorrect for this, but it's really just a matter of the numbers being wrong, and I wanted a full 6-car train set. So that, this is something that I rode every day for 2.5 weeks, and I'm really happy to have it. Got an old roundhouse box. This has not a roundhouse model, but this is a Walther's CA1 wood caboose that I detailed a bit. Needs some of the paint's chipping I need to fix. I need to paint the rack, or need to paint the railing on top of the cupola up there. But it's a nice little caboose that I did as a nice project a few years ago. Another roundhouse kit. And inside this one, we have an actual roundhouse kit. This is a UP hopper. This was probably a train show pickup from a few years ago. And then another roundhouse kit. I don't know what's... Oh, this one has the Oxford Rail Dean Goods in pieces. For some reason, the motor on mine hitches. It's not the running gear or anything in the wheels or the quartering. I think it's the motor, so I'm going to replace the coreless motor with another coreless motor. We'll see if we can get it running smooth. Another New Jersey boxcar. This is a lifelike boxcar. Like I said, every time I see one of these, I pick them up just because it's kind of silly at this point. We have a little baggie of parts for the Proto GP32 that I picked up in Houston. I was cleaning out those gears because they were glued together with the old grease. Then we have another Walther's hopper with some graffiti started on it.
Who did it? Who turned the f***ing sun on?
So yeah, that's something I need to continue working on, I think. So we'll put that back in its paper towel there for protecting the work. Then we have another wrapped piece. Probably not the best way to store these, but this is that Root Rock hopper that I was going to do as a Midwest railcar piece, but I've already ordered the new Atlas one that's already patched. I don't know what I'm going to do with that one yet. I'll probably do another patch one with some aftermarket decals. Haven't decided. This is an Athearn Roundhouse high cube boxcar for F. This is an F box. I know it's not really accurate, but it was a fun, canvas to work on and do a little bit more of that graffiti and try my hand at fading yellow. And I think I really need to get an airbrush, but I had fun working on that one. Okay, we have another wrapped piece. This is a long wrapped piece. This is, oh yeah, another amp fleet. This one, for some reason, does not have a car number on it, and I actually have micro scale decals somewhere in my decal pile to put a number for this coach. So I have 2 amp fleet cars right now. I'd like to get at least another 3 or 4 for the ACS 64 to pull. That's going to be a future endeavor, I think. We have the Athearn FEF 844 commemorating the Great Race to Promontory. It's a nice locomotive. I don't run this thing nearly enough. It's got Loc Sound in it now. Nice big speaker. I need to bring that to the club, I think, and have it pull those heavyweight passenger cars. On my scale trains, Tier 4 Gevo. I saw this one actually in real life not too long ago when it actually passed through Central Texas. And it's really cool because normally you buy a model of a locomotive you've seen. I bought the model first and then saw the locomotive almost exactly a year later passing through. That was really cool. And actually, here's the shot of it passing through. That's just so cool. I have some reference of how it actually looks now. It definitely needs some weathering and attention, but it's a nice piece. My first Scale Trains model, definitely not my last. I'm kind of hoping they do a modern SD40N for Union Pacific, hopefully in the future. My Walthers Mainline SD70AH. This was a renumber that I did. I think I did a whole video on it. I'll link it up there. This one is now number 9,000. Added a bunch of decals for the warning labels on the side, a bunch of extra details, piping, more details on the fuel tank and the airlines on the truck side frames. And it's not perfect. There are some things that are incorrect about it compared to the real thing. But, you know, it was a nice project. I love it very much. I have an Athearn one with the small flag on the nose pre-ordered that should be coming in September. So I'm looking forward to having another SD70. They're really nice. Another small Athearn Blue Box model. This is another New Jersey boxcar, as you can see. Another one for the pile, so I think that makes 3. And we have this little box here. Inside this, I think, is the Roco 210O that I bought in the Austin Train Show a few years ago that I've been remotoring. It's got a adapter board for a Next 18 decoder in it. That's a work in progress. It runs really well with that motor in the tender, so we'll get that running eventually. This is that Proto GP38-2 I picked up at Houston, and I have disassembled it, and some of its parts are in another box, but I think I'm going to reassemble it. I don't know if I'm going to keep this guy. I might sell this off now that I know that it runs. I'm just not sure that I really have any desire to have a Conrail GP38-2. I saw it for $50 and thought, you know, that looks cool enough, I'll take it. I don't know if I'm going to keep it though. Alright, the last thing in this box is the Athearn Genesis Big Boy, and it's been too long since I've pulled this out and, you know, have run it. This was something that I saved up a lot for, a lot of time that I spent saving for this guy. This is 4018. This is the one that's up in Dallas at the Frisco Museum of the American Railroad, I think is what it's called. And we got close to it. We saw it up in person last year, and I had the model of it, and it's just so cool to have. I'd like to get a model of 4014 at some point, maybe the Broadway Limited one. But for now, I have this one and the River Rossi, so I'm very happy with these two pieces. And as you can see, we have a big pile. I am now surrounded by trains, locomotives, freight cars, passenger cars. It's a little overwhelming at times. And I know, it's not really that much if you compare it to some people's collections, but I have a lot of projects in the works too. There's a lot going on here, so I need to sort through, get some things repaired, get some things started, and start working on them. Another project I have in mind now that we're kind of getting settled into a new place is I bought some of these 6-foot shelves from IKEA, these lac shelves. Got 2 6-footers and one, I think, 3-foot. And what I want to do with at least one of these is do a sort of a diorama display of Canterbury West Station. This was the station that we left every day when we were in the UK, traveling into London, and then from London all over the United Kingdom. And I have very fond memories of taking the train out of there and then coming home really late at night, and then coming back to the hotel really late at night to Canterbury. And I want to do a little sort of display with the south end of the station, which I think heads towards London. It's the main part. And then have the Class 395 Javelin parked alongside. And this would just be a standalone display, not connected to anything. And it would be from the signal tower there at one end, and then at the other end is the footbridge. And it would just be the single track and the station and the canopy, and then all the little details and everything. That's the plan, at least for now. So maybe I can actually get something done. And then the other two shelves, I'm not sure what I'll do with yet. I'm thinking maybe that might be the start of the World War I trench railway that I've been threatening to work on. We'll see. I have a lot on my plate now, and I know it's been a while since I've uploaded any videos, but I hopefully have more in the pipe now that I've kind of gotten a little bit more settled. I've got my workbench back, so hopefully I'll have more for you very soon. Thank you so much for watching. If you've made it this far, please consider subscribing, and hopefully I'll see you all very soon in the next video. Thanks for watching.